Kia ora e tamariki mā, and welcome back to The Word. It's great to see you again. One thing I'm not very good at is being patient. I don't like having to wait. Being a lifelong follower of Jesus means that sometimes I need to work on developing things that I'm not naturally good at, like patience. Well, there's a story in the Bible about a woman who had to wait for ages for God to answer the prayer that she had been praying with her husband for like forever. Elizabeth had to learn to be patient and to trust God. And even though it seemed like he was never going to answer her prayer, that his timing was always perfect. And so waiting became a time of learning to trust God even more. So Elizabeth was married to a man named Zacharias, and even though they'd been married for a really long time and had wanted to have children, they had never been able to. They really wanted a family. Elizabeth had dreamed since she was a young girl of having a baby, of being a mum. Every girl back then did. And it was hard for her now watching all of her friends. They'd had all their babies years ago, and now their children were having babies. My friends are all having grandbabies, and I'm still waiting to become a mum. Elizabeth was trying to be patient, but it was hard, and sometimes her heart was sad. She didn't understand why God hadn't blessed her. She prayed with Zacharias every day, but at some point, I don't even think she knew when, they both stopped dreaming about having a baby because they were not sure that God was ever going to answer their prayers. They were too old now. Now Zacharias, he was a priest, and one day when he was serving at the temple, he was chosen, given the very special honor of burning the incense before God. That was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Zacharias. He was so nervous, but also very excited. Slowly and carefully, he walked into the special place where he had to light the incense. Once he had completed the ceremony, the most amazing thing happened. An angel appeared right before him. The angel was like, "Don't be afraid. God has heard the prayers you and Elizabeth have been praying. You're going to become a dad. Elizabeth's going to have a baby boy, and you need to name him John. John will be very special Pepe, and he will grow up to be an exceptional man, so you must look after him very carefully. He will bring you and Elizabeth so much joy. He will prepare the way for the arrival of the Lord, the one who is coming to save us." The angel shared more about what John's life would look like, but Zacharias was like, how's this going to work? Because me and Elizabeth are old now, and the angel was like, "I'm Gabriel, and God has sent me with this amazing news, but because you haven't believed what I've told you today, you will not be able to speak until after the baby is born." When Zacharias came out of the holy place, everyone knew he must have seen a special vision from God, but he couldn't talk. He was filled with joy from the news the angel had shared. He went home, but he couldn't talk to Elizabeth and tell her what had happened. Somehow, he shared the amazing news. My guess is that maybe they played charades or he drew it in a picture. Elizabeth was so happy. Can you imagine the look on her face? Her wait was finally over. God was blessing her with a baby. Being patient had not been easy. There had been times when she had lost hope that her dream of being a mum would ever come true. But here she was, an old woman carrying a very special baby. A baby who was going to be well worth the wait. Patience, that's what God wants us to learn today as lifelong followers of Jesus.